All right, man. We have to talk about this. As a producer, drummer, and DJ, I've been a Serato user for quite some time. I literally have the Serato vinyls right here. But what I'm really proud of them for doing lately is getting way heavier into the production space. This Serato Hex FX plugin, man. Hold on. But before we even get into it, what the f is Serato Hex FX? It is damn near every effect you could possibly want inside of one plugin with quite literally endless possibilities on how to use them. If y'all know me, I make drum breaks from scratch on that drum set back there. And we're gonna use Serato Hex FX to get one of these drum breaks as grimy as humanly possible. Ooh, buddy. Okay, let's chop that bad boy up. Inside of Serato Hex FX, I have this drum break routed to it, right? Look at all these presets. These are presets made by heavy hitters. You got Kalen Ellis presets, you got decap presets, you got DiBiase presets, you got disclosure presets. Like, bro, this is probably a good time to talk about there are going to be some AJ Hall presets available for this plugin because you can save your own presets inside of this plugin with whatever parameters you want, and you can actually export those to share with other people. So right now, for today's purposes, we're just going to go with a DiBiase preset called Gritty Drum Bus, and brother, it does exactly what it says. There's literally two effects happening inside of here. Listen to the difference. So inside, we've got the basic hex compressor and the tape saturator. You can actually rearrange the order of all the effects. So say I like the tape saturator, but I want to put it in front of the compressor. Now the big knob up here, people call it the big knob, but it's really called the hex dial. It is not a wet dry. You have a wet dry knob at the bottom, so I could run this entire thing in parallel. What the hex dial does up top is it actually controls all of the effects that you have at once. Let's start it at 0 and let's turn it all the way up while the drum break's playing. So we're gonna leave it back down where it is. Let's get into some of the other effects that we can get into. You have 4 different types of bit crushing, 5 different types of breaker effects, which is honestly like what you find on SP404s. We'll get into that in a little bit. 3 different types of compression, 4 different types of delay, 3 different types of distortion, 6 different types of filters, 2 different types of lo-fi effects, 5 different modulators, 4 different types of repeaters, which is different from a delay. It's kind of like what you find in a lot of DJ mixers because, again, Serato, DJ company, making a multi-effects plugin. Mwah. 4 different types of reverb. This is insane. 3 different types of saturation, 5 different types of shapers, which is basically your tremolos, your envelope filters, 2 different types of time stretching. Now, inside of Hex Effects, if you click on the params button, you will actually see the individual controls for the individual effects. Are you starting to see the endless possibilities you can get into inside of this thing, man? Already getting kind of that SP303 vinyl sim compression. If you know, you know. That's the Mad Lib sound, that's the Wolfpack sound. We got a compression knob right inside the vinyl. So again, with this big dial at the top, the hex dial, we can add more or less of all of these effects. Another thing that I love about Hex Effects is this width knob down here. So you can actually take the image way stereo with the break. So because we're gonna make our own preset, you can do it inside of Hex Effects. Literally gonna title this AJ Hall 303 Vinyl. So it's saved with the hex dial kind of at 12 o'clock. With it all the way up, it sounds crazy. But if you're not a gritty, grimy drum break maniac like me, you can actually dial it back a little bit just with the hex dial up top. So I opened up one of the effects called Drive Filter. You actually can filter out some of the high frequencies if you want to, but also add a little bit of an EQ spike and just drive that section of the highs. All right, so we've officially built the drum groove. Let's get some melodic content going. Wait a minute. Ooh. So sticking with the theme, we're gonna open up yet another instance of Serato Hex Effects on that melodic sample. Let's get it. We're gonna let that play, and we're just gonna scroll through some of these presets, man. Let's get into the time stretching like I was talking about before. You have halftime inside of Hex Effects, bro. We're gonna turn the mix all the way up. Set the loop to 1/16 so it follows the 16th notes, and I want to add one more thing in here because I've been curious about this inverse verb. So we got a basic bass pattern laid out. Actually, it's not so basic, it's kind of fly. Now, we're gonna put Serato Hex Effects on this bass guitar. There's a preset in here called Old Slap Tape. Getting Queens of the Stone Age vibes, man. I'm gonna add one more thing on here. I'm gonna go to the warm saturation just to give it a little bit more oomph on the way out. Without it. With it. Okay, at this point, I should tell you guys that Serato Hex Effects and Serato Sample and Serato Studio, which I haven't even talked about yet, are all available in one bundle. It's called the Serato Producer Suite. If you go to the link below and you use code AJHall 1 month free, AJHall number 1 month free, you'll get exactly that on Serato Studio, Serato Sample, and Serato Hex Effects, what we're using today. Serato Sample is what I was using to chop up the break in this beat. If you got a full melodic sample from vinyl or something like that, you can remove guitar, bass, and drums and vocals inside of Serato Sample by itself. You don't need any online stem separators. It does it right there in the plugin. Inside Serato Studio, man, I haven't really even talked about that, but Serato Studio, that's actually what I use to make DJ mashups. The time stretching that Serato uses is the same stuff that goes into Serato DJ Pro when you actually play out live. So all three of those are available in the producer suite. And if you go to the link below, you'll be taken to this page where you see the homie DiBiase actually using a SP404, which Serato Studio just added native support for the 404 to be used as a controller inside of Serato Studio and Serato DJ Pro. Ridiculous, man. All right. Back to the beat. We kind of reached the point where we just need some ear candy. So all I'm going to do is go into one of my own packs, go to these bonus synth sound effects, and we're just going to find one that works for this beat. Oh, wait. So now I'm going to put another instance of Serato Hex Effects on top of this little synth patch that we got. We're going to go to the categories of presets. We got DJ presets, color presets, lo-fi presets. I'm going to go to the space presets. Cosmic Space. There is another preset that I passed by in here though. A24 soundtrack. Without it. With it. Let's keep on going, man. A couple more elements I want to add. So we added a very basic piano part. Now through that same bus that all of our melodic content is going through, it sounds like this. You put the pitch reverb on, go into the parameters and play with this little fader right here. I want to add one of my own percussion loops in here. It sounds like this. So what's actually giving us that pulsing effect is the DJ transform inside of the shapers right there. And that's insane because I can have it really giving us a hard square wave cutoff, but then I can turn the dry wet knob down a little bit. All right, so at this stage of the video, it's only right that I point out the fact that we have only used Serato Hex Effects to process everything going on in this beat. That's the only plugin we've added. Here's the beat that we have just made without any of the Serato Hex Effects on. Now are you ready to hear the Serato Hex Effects? I've made a preset in here. Once again, you can save presets, and I'm calling it the AJ Hall Intro Special. Because one of my favorite ways to intro a beat is to literally just have the most lo-fi, unknocking version of the beat you can possibly get. Remember how I was talking about all you 404 warriors at the beginning? The SP404 squad, the soldiers, the guys, gals too, sorry. I know y'all love to spam those 404 effects, and I love it too. So we got them right here inside of Serato Hex Effects. Breaker category, you open up the rollout. I know all you SP404 heads that do the beat sets live are freaking out right now because it's exactly what the sound is supposed to be. Now, remember we talked about the big dial up here, the hex dial? So as you can see, it's moving all the parameters of the effects at the same time. If you wanted to only affect some of the parameters of some of the effects, you can do that. Literally go into any of the smaller knobs, right click, and click unlink. And now you see the break knob in the rollout is independent of the hex dial. Now finally, in the updated version of Serato Hex Effects, version 1.1, if you click this little wrench right here, you see it opens up the actual curve of the hex dial. As we move all the way left and right, the delay inside this first chorus doesn't move that much. If we wanted to, we can literally draw our curve right here. You see what I'm doing? Without the curve drawn. Now with the curve drawn, so we just pulled up the pitch reverb. Let's click the pitch reverb inside of the wrench. Let's make the width go up in this weird curve right here. Of course you can automate this, but I'm actually going to record a performance of me messing with that hex dial and then turning on one more effect inside of the Hex Effects. Print that to audio, and that's going to be the intro to the beat. All right, man, so we are finished with this beat. Let's hear the whole thing.